Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Midwest Plainsman on the Prairieland Radio Network. And this afternoon, I am joined by my special guest, Birdie Nichols. She is
Hello.
a Nashville based singer songwriter, upcoming singer songwriter who I had recently come across on Facebook, as usual, with a lot of new artists that are coming up and getting their music out to social media to get attention. So that's how I came across Birdie. I invited her to come onto the podcast because I am all about helping independent musicians, singer songwriters, and bands get noticed, help promote them and their music. So welcome, Birdie. Thank you for taking time out to come join me.
Thank you. I'm super excited.
Cool. So what has been your upbringing been like with your music?
Well, I've always loved music. Every time we went on a road trip, we'd put in either an Alan Jackson CD or a Johnny Cash CD, or we just listened to the radio. And I was very much so immersed in different forms of music, just all the time, everywhere. I love the opera. The first time I ever went to the opera, I was just so enthralled. I didn't want to leave. And the same thing with ballet. I love the way the music people they just flow with it. And orchestras, I love music, and it just stuck with me up till now.
Yeah, you're kind of like me. I grew up being in band and choir all through school. That
Nice.
was, and I was the only one in my family who was really musically inclined. I think my oldest brother gave it a shot while he was in school, but it didn't last long. So I was primarily the main one that really stuck it out. And I'm glad I did.
Yeah, definitely. I also did rock band in high school, and I did multiple choirs throughout the years.
Very cool. So what has been your main influence for your music?
My main influence would definitely be where I grew up in Arizona, just because the people there are awesome, and particularly the scenery is just beautiful, and the ghost stories and the legends and the myths that you learn and get to kind of see pieces of the history to are altogether very inspiring, in my opinion. And also, again, as I said, I would listen to a lot of music, and I would see a lot of different performances on stage that helped as well to kind of form this passion that I have.
Okay. Uh, so out of your musical influence, I mean, what artist really hit home with you?
Definitely, for starters, Johnny Cash, because just the way his lyrics can speak to anybody, even
Mhm.
like a little kid who doesn't always necessarily understand everything that he's saying, it can still kind of be like, ooh, wow, eye opening for one. Also, Marty Robbins, he's a very good lyricist, and his melodies flow very well with what he has to say in terms of just music.
Mhm. So really out of the artists that you have really idolized and followed, it you steer more towards the classic country music sound.
Yes. Classic country western kind of sound, yes.
And I've noticed that, yeah, you have implemented that sound into what you have created. So, I mean, it's the musicians who create their own style is what really gets my attention. And
Yeah.
putting their twist on like an old classic. Uh, and there's several artists that are doing that, and a lot of them are good at what they do. Some not so much. I'm sorry to say it, but
It's okay. Yeah, I like I. It wasn't necessarily purposeful on the way that how I combines kind of old country and western and kind of put a new twist to it. It's just I was sitting down. I've been writing songs, but they didn't quite have soul to it quite yet. I hadn't quite found my voice and my sound.
Mhm.
And one day I sat down and I was writing about the West, out where I grew up. Um, I have 2 songs, but one that really kind of, I think, defined my sound is Golden Fields of the Sun. 'Cause I was sitting down and I was thinking about Prescott and just northern Arizona, as well as some parts of southern Arizona, and just thinking about how the sun is it can be almost a constant where it just shines down and it makes where you're in certain areas, it's just it can blind you in a
Mm.
way, and I just use that for inspiration, as well as I was thinking of, like, classic, "Oh, I think this sound works." I was sitting with my guitar and it just came out and I was like, "Wait, this feels right." And so I continued to kind of write with that, with kind of the premise of the West, and it flowed out and I was like, "This feels right. This is right to me."
Well, you know, when you have the inspiration and when it comes to you and it just starts flowing, you know that you're on the right track.
Definitely. Yeah, cuz you can write anybody can write music, but to me the best kind of music is the music that comes from the heart and comes from a special place within you, or like you really feel what you're singing about or playing about, the idea.
Yep, I get that completely. I really do. All right. We are going to be playing some of your music videos. And first one that I'm going to do is Blue Lightning Ambush. Tell me what the story is behind this one.
So, Blue Lightning Ambush is a love story with an interesting twist. Basically, it's someone who's been broken down and they're doing anything to kind of like just survive, and then all of a sudden just it's basically how one moment can just change your life just like that, how love can change your life with
Mm,
one single look.
that's true. I've experienced that. I think everybody at some point in their life has had that same experience.
Yes, I know that's I definitely used part of how I met my boyfriend for that, because we were in high school together. We knew we exist, like I knew he existed, he knew I existed, but we never really talked. And then all it took was one little event that kind of pushed us together and we started talking and getting to know each other better, and we're still together to this day.
Excellent. Excellent. All right. Well, we're going to get right into this Blue Lightning Ambush.
Hungry, broken, desperate, and in the dark, ambushed you, and then suddenly it takes to turn your life around. One night, one strike is all it takes to turn your life around.
Okay, now that looked like a fun video that you had fun making.
Oh, yes, definitely. I knew it was my first music video, and so I called up some of my friends and I was like, "Hey, you wanna be in my brand new gonna film music video?" And they're like, "Sure." And my boyfriend, I was like, "Hey, he had to be in it, so he didn't have a choice." Um,
I can
and
tell that by him being hogtied.
well, he's actually so that was one of my friend, his name's Sizemore. He couldn't We had to film him first because he had to leave, but he had so much fun. I was like, "Oh, you should be an actor, dude. That was great." And but yeah, he especially loved my horse Tex, so that's why he got to lead him in to the barn. So he he loved I was like, "Dude, you should work with horses. You're really good with them." So he's a great guy. And Ben and Connor too were the other two. They kept trying to want to take my guns. I was like, "Dude, you can't have my shotgun," especially because those are actually my guns and my dad's guns, but especially the shotgun. And my one friend Ben, he kept eyeing it, and I was like, "No, don't take my shotgun, please." And then my boyfriend, he's great, Hunter. He was taking it in stride. I was like, "Oh yeah, you're doing great." And he's like, "Okay, just put me in whatever you want. Let's do this." And so he'd never carried a saddle really before, and so he had a little. I had to kind of be like, "Just sling it over the fence, and you'll be fine." But it was a
Well,
lot of fun.
okay, now at some point were you channeling Beth Dutton?
I I didn't think about that, but I guess I was.
'Cause I mean, some of the scenes that I was watching is like, okay, she's channeling Beth here.
I wasn't I wasn't thinking about that. Dang. No, I see yeah, I guess so. Oh my. That's that's crazy. I didn't think about it like that.
I mean, that was the impression I was getting, just some of the looks and the way that you were carrying yourself. I was like, wait a second, I'm watching Beth here.
Like, yeah, I guess I was. I wasn't thinking like that. I was just like, "Oh, I was personally, I was thinking Billy the Kid, kinda channeling this inner outlaw kinda
No,
thing." But yeah.
so for those of you who may not be catching on just yet, we're talking about Beth Dutton from Yellowstone. Uh, 'Cause I mean, that was just classic. Cool. All right. So, let's see. That was, I mean, for your first music video, that was well put together and well done.
Thank you. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. It was really hot when we filmed, but it was a lot of fun.
Well, when I see, especially someone young like you, and already making videos now, uh, did you bring in professionals to help video, or was that just, I mean, was that you just putting things together?
So that one was my producer helped because I asked him if he had a friend. He's like, "Oh yeah, I got this guy is great." So they both helped put together this video for the first one. Now for my other music videos, we were too far away because we filmed them
Hmm.
out west, so we had to use someone else. But that was for the first. Yeah, he's both both of the people that I use are fabulous, and they're very different artistically, but I think they both do great jobs.
Excellent. So now, Are you actually in Nashville, or are you still out in Arizona?
Right now, I am in Nashville,
Okay.
but I will be going back out to Arizona for a couple of. I'm playing down in Sierra Vista in June. Uh, I I know I'm doing other things, but that's the one thing that I do remember.
Okay. I was gonna say 'cause, I actually know of, I'm friends with a very talented folk singer, and granted, she grew up here in the Midwest in Wisconsin, but she lived out in Prescott for many years until uh, they, if I remember right, I think they had a flood down there one year, and she wound up moving out of the area. And she still goes back there every once in a while, but she tours the country with her music.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
Yep. All right. So let's get to this next one. This one's Into the West. And I gotta say, this one here is the one that really caught my attention.
Yay. I like this one too. I like all of them, but this one was another one that was really fun to film.
I can tell this one was done out in Arizona.
Yes.
So what's the story behind this one?
Into the West, it's the title track of my album. But the funny thing is that was one of the last songs that I actually wrote for my album. So I knew what I was trying to say, and I knew kind of how I wanted to say it. So I went and kind of laid out my ideas. I was like, okay, I want to bring anybody who's listening to my songs, I want to bring them out into the West. And so I did that by giving a little bit of a rundown of who I am and kind of how I think and how I work, and also by giving two major players, strong women of the West, and kind of giving little details about them.
Excellent. So now, have you been out and about playing at like festivals and uh, other events to really show off your music?
Yes, I have.
And what's been the reception so far that you've seen?
I've seen a lot of people so far, very much so inspired by what I have been singing, and that's my main goal. I love to see people think, "Wow, this is different," or get inspired to do maybe what they've always wanted to do. Maybe someone who has the heart and the mind and just everything ready, and they know they can write songs, but they just haven't pushed themselves to kind of push themselves to go and write that song, or go learn how to play a guitar or mandolin or whatever. And I've seen a lot of positive reception to my songs and my music, and that makes me very happy.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. All right. So we're going to be playing this next one, Into the West.
I'm a trailblazing tumbleweed, a straight talking wind wandering melody, roaming, arranging, reveling, blowing down those dusty roads, guided by the legends of the past, never knowing who I'll meet when I'm blazing my own way into the West. Any Oakley was a sharpshooting dead shot.
Tombstone, very cool. I like that one. I really do.
Yeah, that one was fun. It was really sunny outside, so we had to find shady places so it wouldn't glare into the camera.
Hmm.
But it was and there was a lot of people too, but it was still a lot of fun. Because there was so many people, they had 2 of the stagecoaches, with the horses, so we got a couple shots with the horses and the stagecoach, which was really cool.
Very nice. No, you definitely chose a really good location for that one.
Yeah, and we'd never actually been down to Tombstone before, or well, I don't know about anybody else, but I hadn't, so that was really cool to just get to see where the OK Corral was, and after that, we also drove down to Bisbee, which was really cool as well.
I was to say because yeah, that entire God, that entire area is filled with so much history, and especially with the people that you were talking about, the legends. Uh, that's how that's how our history was started.
Yeah, and it was really cool to go down, like, again, I'd been in northern Arizona and I've been other places as well, but to be in southern Arizona and to see different pieces of this history was really cool.
Nice. Well, let's see. Now, we've got one more we're going to do, and this one is called Hell's Canyon. Now, what is the story behind Hell's Canyon?
So, Hell's Canyon itself, that is a real place. It's a canyon that runs through northern Arizona and goes all the way up into near Las Vegas. And it's a canyon, which means basically you don't want to go falling into the canyon because it would be very difficult to get out. And I took that idea with along with how life itself is a rugged road that we're going on, and sometimes we can make some decisions or we get pushed into something that leads us into a very dark place. And sometimes all we need is someone, and in my case, what I'm trying to say is God, but I know maybe some people don't resonate that, but I resonate it with that. So I say God is always there to help pick you up and put you back where you're supposed to be.
Nice. Okay, well, we're going to get into this one, and then we've still got a little bit more to talk about.
There was fire in the air, storm clouds, thunder and rain. Smoke bellowed from the burning slipping. Lord above heard me crying out when I crawled out of Hell's Canyon. Ooh, oh, when I crawled out of Hell's Canyon. So if you ever go down that broken fiery road, a cowboy angel will be there to answer God's prayers. And that's how I crawled out of Hell's Canyon.
All right, another little fun video.
That one, yeah, we went and filmed off of Route 66, which was, again, really cool.
Yeah, and a lot of people will recognize that too because, yeah, a lot of your, oh God, a lot of your car enthusiasts and anybody who has ties to the West and, uh, yeah, they're gonna recognize that entire area.
Yeah, there was a really cool car museum that we went and looked at as well. That was pretty fire, I would say.
So now, when you are out playing your music, and I know that you said you've had a lot of good positive response out of it, has anyone basically come up to you and told you that one of your pieces of music resonated with them and influenced them at all? Or
Yes. So one of my songs, Desert Lilies Blooming, that one I've had multiple times. People have gone up and said, or they've not, if I wasn't playing live, I've had a couple people just comment on whenever I post about it. They say that they either talk about someone they've lost or someone they've missed, and how it kind of allowed them to remember them, or how that song reminded them of that special person in particular.
cool. So, if a country music singer was to see what you do and hear you perform, uh, who would you want to basically approach you first?
Dolly Parton, I would say.
I kind of figured that it would be the answer.
Yes. I love Dolly. I love another amazing artist who she was strong woman who did what she wanted, wrote what she wanted, and she made it work. She's incredible. Her again, another amazing lyricist, amazing performer. She's an inspiration to many, many, many people, especially me.
Well, yeah, I kind of somehow or another I already knew the answer to that, but I had fun. That's who the one person that you were going to say. That I already guessed that one.
Yep. Yeah, definitely.
And now, do you want to be recognized by a record label at some point?
I mean, I guess I don't know. As long as if they share my ideals, then sure, I wouldn't bother me at all.
Yeah, well, because the music industry has changed so much over the years.
Yeah.
Right now, yourself and several other new upcoming artists, they have taken to social media first to showcase your music and allow people to see your videos and hear your music first so that you can get feedback from that and then hopefully, yeah, be recognized
Yeah.
by big name artists or somebody who can assist you along the way.
Yeah. Well, my main again, my main goal is just to again share my music and inspire as many people as I can, or let people hear something new that maybe they or give them a different perspective to a genre or two genres or whatever that they maybe have never tried before. Maybe they've heard only some songs that didn't quite resonate, but they can dig deeper into this different sound that can let them learn more about something they don't know, or maybe just inspire them to learn different types of history.
Well,
And
plus I like
yeah,
the fact that you're sticking with the classic country sound instead of trying to go with mm, some stuff that's being created today. And uh, I like the fact that you're sticking with that, and that
thank you.
there's not a lot of other artists are falling back to the old style country.
Well, I strive to again give you old country with a modern twist, but still kind of pay homage to where we came from and where kind
Right.
of the original sounds or some part of the original sounds that country comes from.
Excellent. Well, I really have enjoyed being able to listen and see your videos and get to talk to you and get to know you. I'm hoping that. The other question now: if you have the opportunity to uh, being able to travel with your music, is that something that you're planning on doing?
Definitely, yes. I've seen a lot of people in different countries who like and are inspired by what I have been playing and what I've been giving to others, and I would love to go and play in person and perform in person and meet some of those people who are particularly inspired by what I have to say.
Nice. Well, as I say, 'cause the best way for you to do that is to get into state fairs.
Yes,
Seems how
definitely.
with you just starting out, that would be the recommendation I would give is to getting yourself into state fairs. And also, I mean, especially here in Iowa, we have like two or three different country music festivals that happen.
Nice. That
And
sounds like yeah, that sounds awesome.
yeah, that would be something to look into. And I'll have to send you the information on those. Um,
Yes, please.
and yeah, because every year the Iowa State Fair also brings in several country music artists to play on the bandstand and then also on the free stage.
Ooh. Yeah, that sounds like a great time. I would love to do that. I would definitely love to learn more so I can figure out how to do that.
Yep, I will get you the information for that so that you can start contacting people and seeing what you can get accomplished.
Thank you. I would yes, thank you so much.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Now, the other thing I was going to mention is that I also do internet radio and I broadcast twice a week at nativefamilyradio.com. So I what I would encourage you to do is go to nativefamilyradio.com, and about all 3/4 of the way down the main page, there is a link over on the right-hand side for independent artists to upload their music.
Oh,
So that your music can be added to our playlist, and so that all the rest of the DJs can pick up on it. But it seems how I'm also going to be including your music onto my playlist.
yeah. Well, thank you.
You're very welcome for that. I'd be happy to do it. I always encourage new upcoming artists to bring their music over to Native Family so that we can help showcase your music there as well.
That's a great thing. Yes.
Yeah, because that's one thing that we do is to always help support and promote independent artists. Because we have a couple of our DJs who do shows dedicated to just independent artists.
That's awesome.
Excellent. All right. Well, let's see. Now, people can contact you through your website and also your Facebook page, correct?
Yes, and or Instagram or whatever social. I have all the things, all the social medias. So that's best way to probably contact me. Yes.
Okay. Excellent. Well, I want to say thank you for taking time out to come join me. This has been fun, and be sure to keep in contact with me. And I'm hoping that we can cross paths in the future here.
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure to talk to you.
You're very welcome, and I look forward to hearing more because I have a feeling that you're going to have a lot more great music to come yet.
Thank you. It's been
All
wonderful talking to you.
Have a good day, Birdie. Thanks for
You
coming
as well.
to join me. You've been listening to another edition of the Midwest Plainsman on the Prairie Land Radio Network. And as usual, you can contact me through the Facebook page, also the group for the Midwest Plainsman. Be sure to like and subscribe to videos over on the YouTube channel, because that always goes to help support what I'm doing here at the Midwest Plainsman. So if you have questions for me directly, you can email me directly at the MidwestPlainsman@gmail.com. Otherwise, I will be seeing you later on down the road. I've got another great interview coming up tomorrow with another upcoming artist. So be sure to tune in for that one. Have a great day, everyone. We're going to be out of here for the day. All rights are reserved and may not be rebroadcasted without full permission of Midwest Plainsman and William Wolfden Productions. Pleasant journeys, everyone.